motion. Rest means what? Motion means what? We discussed. Next, what is meant by a scalar quantity and a vector quantity? What is meant by physical quantity? It came for you in the units and measurements. Any measurable quantity is called as a physical quantity. If we measure anything, that will be called as a physical quantity. For example, this chalk piece is there. We can measure the length of this chalk piece. So, length is a physical quantity. We can measure the area of this chalk piece, volume of this chalk piece. So, area and volume are the physical quantities. Like that, now what is the time? We can measure the time. So, time is also a physical quantity. Like this, all measurable quantities are called as the physical quantities. They will be divided into two types: scalar quantities and vector quantities. So, physical quantities. What is meant by physical quantity means any measurable quantity. Any measurable quantity is called a physical quantity. Any measurable quantity is called a physical quantity. Is it clear? Now, these physical quantities are divided into two categories. Physical quantities are divided into two categories. One will be scalar quantities another one will be vector quantities. Physical quantities are classified into two categories. First one will be scalar quantities and vector quantities. Then, what are scalar quantities? What are vector quantities? Try to understand about that. So, initially, what is meant by a scalar quantity? Some physical quantities are having only magnitude. They don't have any direction. Means that magnitude value is independent on the direction of the body. Those quantities are called as the scalar quantities. If the point is clear, physical quantities having only magnitude. Physical quantities having only magnitude but no direction are called scalar quantities. Magnitude means what? Direction means what? Let us see. Let us discuss about this. So, observe this chalk piece. How much length it will be there? Let us assume around its length will be some 5 centimeter. Length of this chalk piece is around 5 centimeter. I kept this chalk piece horizontal and I measured its length. It came as 5 centimeter. Now I am keeping this chalk piece vertical and I am measuring its length. how much it will come? 5 centimeter or less than 5 centimeter or greater than 5 centimeter? Tell me. Same 5 centimeter we will get. It is horizontal. I kept this chalk piece in vertical direction. If chance is there, I am keeping the chalk piece like this, with some inclination with the ground, some angle it is making with the ground. I measured the length of this chalk piece. Again it will commit as same 5 centimeter. Means that 5 centimeter is there, na? That will be called magnitude. So that will be called length magnitude. How much that is? 5 centimeter. This magnitude is independent on the direction of this chalk piece. Whether if you keep the chalk piece vertical, whether you keep the chalk piece horizontal, same value you will get. So it is not having any direction, it is having only magnitude. So that type of quantities are called as the scalar quantities. Clear? Physical quantities having only magnitude but no direction are called as the scalar quantities. So if you take mass, examples, if you take length, mass, like this, so many quantities we can write for scalar quantities. All fundamental quantities. 7 fundamental quantities are there: length, mass, time, electric current, thermodynamic temperature, quantity of matter, luminous intensity. All will be scalar quantities. Length, mass, time, like that. So many scalar quantities will be there. Mass you take, I am keeping the chalk piece in a balance, keeping in a horizontal direction like this. I measured the mass, its mass came as some 20 gram. I kept the chalk piece in vertically like this, in a balance. I measured its mass, again it came as 20 gram. I kept like this inclination, with some inclination I kept in this way. I measured its mass, again it came as 20 gram. So like this, that mass value is independent on the direction of this chalk piece, whether it is a vertical, whether it is horizontal, whether it is making some angle with horizontal. If chance is there, if we keep like this in the balance also, we will get the same value. So that mass 20 gram, that 20 gram will be the magnitude. That 20 gram value is independent on the direction, so it will be a scalar quantity. Physical quantities having only magnitude but no direction are called as the scalar quantities. Some physical quantities magnitude will depend on the direction of the body. Those physical quantities are called as the vector quantities. So next one will be vector quantities. Physical quantities having both magnitude and direction. Physical quantities having both magnitude and direction are called vector quantities. Okay? They have both magnitude and direction. Some more they will be satisfied some more conditions. Some specular examples will be there, different examples will be there for that. Let us see. Along with magnitude and direction, they should obey laws of vector addition. They should obey laws of vector addition. They can be resolved into components. What are laws of vector addition? You don't know. In the same way, how to resolve that into components also you don't know. So at this junction of time, all these, what are laws of vector, in the coming lessons, in the next lesson, motion in a plane, it will come. How to resolve a vector into components, this will also come. Just learn a quantity having both magnitude and direction, and it should obey the laws of vector addition. It can be resolved into components. Then that quantity is called a vector quantity. Or basically in all books what it will be there, physical quantities having both magnitude and direction are called vector quantities. This definition is enough. Generally, quantities having both magnitude and direction, automatically they will obey the laws of vector addition. They can be resolved into components. That's why we are not specifying these points. Okay? Simply what you have to learn, it should be a quantity having both magnitude and direction. That quantities are called as the vector quantities. Some examples for them will be displacement. We will discuss all one by one here. What is meant by displacement, everything. Velocity, acceleration, force. Like this, so many quantities will be there. All these quantities we will consider them as the vector quantities. If the point is clear, physical quantities having only magnitude but no direction are called as the scalar quantities. Physical quantities having both magnitude and direction are called as the vector quantities. So in the 9th and 10th, I think, freely falling body will come for you. Vertically projected body will come for you. For freely falling body, we are writing A is equal to G. We are writing for vertically projected body, A is equal to minus G. Here G value will be 9.8. So here 9.8 meter per second square. Here this value minus 9.8 meter per second square. So if it is moving towards the earth, freely falling body, we consider its acceleration is positive. If it is moving away from the earth, we consider its acceleration is minus 9.8 meter per second square. So depending on the direction of motion, this acceleration plus or minus is changing. So that direction, depending on the direction, that magnitude value is changing. So we can call it as this acceleration due to gravity, we can call it as a vector quantity, or simply acceleration will be called as a vector quantity. If the point is clear, quantities having both magnitude and direction are called as the vector quantities. That will be simple definition. Along with that, some more what it should follow, that quantity should obey the laws of vector addition, that physical quantity can be resolved into components. Then only it will be called as a vector quantity. For example, if we take electric current, it is having both magnitude and direction. So current is going from here to here means it is having some direction. It is having magnitude. Some 5 ampere current is flowing. So it is having magnitude also. But electric current will be scalar quantity. Why it is a scalar quantity means it is not obeying the laws of vector addition. You don't know what is meant by laws of vector addition. Now it will come in the coming lessons. That's why just remember up to that. It is not obeying the laws of vector addition. That's why we can call electric current as a scalar quantity. Next, speed of the light, if you take, light will also go from one place to another place. Its magnitude is, velocity of light will be 3 into 10 power 8 meter per second. It is having both magnitude and direction. It is going from one place to another place, and its magnitude is 3 into 10 power 8 meter per second. But it is a scalar quantity. Why means it cannot be resolved into components. We cannot resolve the velocity of light into components. That's why velocity of light or speed of light is a scalar quantity. So like that, little bit quantities, though they have magnitude and direction, they won't obey the laws of vector addition. They cannot be resolved into components. Those quantities are called as the scalar quantities only. Okay. Next, after finishing of this, let us see what is meant by distance, what is meant by displacement. Distance, it is indicated by the letter S. Okay, how it will be defined? The actual length of the path. The actual length of the path travelled by a body is called distance. Actual length of the path travelled by the body is called distance. Means for a body travelled like this, some 10 meter. Later it came here, travelled like this 5 meter. What is the distance travelled by the body means 15 meter. The actual length of the path travelled by a body, that will be called as the distance. So this distance, if you consider the SI unit for distance, it will be meter. If you consider the CGS unit for distance, it will be centimeter. SI unit will be meter, CGS unit will be centimeter. And what is the dimensional formula for this will be L. And it is a scalar quantity. Distance will be a scalar quantity. The point is understanding? The actual length of the path travelled by a body is called distance. Its SI unit will be meter. Its CGS unit will be centimeter. Its dimensional formula will be L. It is a scalar quantity. Clear? Next, what is meant by a vector quantity? What is meant by, no, what is meant by displacement? Next. Displacement is also indicated by the letter S. Both distance and displacement, both are indicating by the same letter. Then how we will define this displacement means the shortest path between initial and final positions. The shortest path between initial and final positions is called displacement. That will be called displacement. If the point is clear, actual length of the path traveled by a body is called distance. Shortest path between initial and final positions, that will be called displacement. So, for example, here one body is there, it traveled 10 meter. Later, for example, let it be 12 meter, let it be 5 meter, it came to here. Shortest path between any two positions means it will be the straight line. Body here initially, finally came to here. What is the displacement or distance traveled by the body here? 12 plus 5, that is equal to 17 meter. Now shortest path means this one, straight line joining initial and final positions. So this will be the displacement of the body. How much this value? This is equal to 13 meter. If the point is clear, this is the initial position, this is the final position, this will be equal to 13 meter. So it will be called as the displacement. So displacement value, if the body is not traveling in a straight line, displacement value always less than the distance. So what we discussed now, what is meant by distance, what is meant by displacement. Shortest path between initial and final positions, that will be called as the displacement. Here this displacement is having direction. Always we have to go from initial position to final position. So it is having some particular direction. So it will be considered as a vector quantity. So it is a vector quantity. Pause the video and write the definitions. Try to write the running notes from the class. It is a vector quantity. Its SI unit will be same, meter. CGS unit will be centimeter. Next, what is the dimensional formula for this is L. SI unit will be meter. CGS unit will be centimeter, dimensional formula will be L. Clear understanding? So this is about displacement. Now after finishing of this, we will discuss some examples to understand the differences between distance and displacement in different cases. For clear understanding about the distance and displacement, We'll do some examples we will take. A body, this is the initial position. It traveled 10 meter and came to the final position. Now, what is the value of distance? What is the value of displacement? So what I told to you, if the body is moving in the straight line, distance displacement both will be same only. So what is the distance here? 10 meter. What is the displacement here? 10 meter. In this case, body traveled 12 meter. Later it changed its direction. It traveled 5 meter, came to this point. What is the displacement here? What is the distance here? Distance means what? Actual length of the path traveled. 12 plus 5, this value will be 17 meter. This is the displacement. According to Pythagoras theorem, this value will be 12 square plus 5 square. So this will be root 169 will come. Root 169 means 13. So what is the displacement here means 13 meters. Clear? Next, one more example. Body started from here, traveled 10 meter, reaches to this point, changes its direction and finally came to the starting point. You started from your house, came to the college, again you reached to your house. Understanding? You started from your house, reached to the college, and what is your final position? You came to the same your house. Then what is the distance here means 10 meter you moved forward, 10 meter it moved backward, totally it will be 20 meter. Actual length of the path traveled, that will be called as the distance. What is the displacement here? Displacement, what will happen? Body again came to the same point. So there is no change in the position of the body. So displacement value will be equal to 0. From where it is started, again it came to the same point. So there is no change in the position. So its displacement value will be equal to 0. Is it clear? Understanding? Next, some more examples we will do to understand the differences between this distance and displacement. This is the initial position. It traveled 10 meter. It reached to this point. Again it changed its direction. By crossing this, finally it came to here. Let us assume this distance is 5 meter. Then what is the displacement? What is the distance? It started from here, finally it came to here. But it traveled 10 meter forward and back 15 meter. From here to here it came means 10 plus 5 it will be 15. What is the actual length of the path means 10 meter forward, 15 meter backward. So totally it will be 25 meter. The point is clear. What is the distance traveled by the body means 25 meter. What is the displacement? 10 meter forward, 15-meter backward, that backward distance here we have to consider it as negative. So totally this value will be minus 5 meter, or its magnitude only if we consider, that will be 5 meter. Understanding? So body is here initially, it came to here finally. Initial and final distance, how much is there, shortest path, that will be called displacement. So here that value will be equal to 5 meter. Because it is going along the negative x direction, we consider it as minus. This is positive x-axis, this is negative x-axis. So that's why 15. So take one more example. There is a circle. A body is moving in the circular path. Radius of the circle is capital R. Radius of the circle is capital R. Body is moving in the circular path. It started from here. After making one round, again it came to the same point. Then what is its distance? What is its displacement means? Distance will be equal to circumference of the circle. Circumference of the circle is 2 pi r. So distance value will be 2 pi r. What is the displacement means? 0. The point is clear. So what is the distance means? 2 pi r. What is the displacement means? 0. Here because body came to the same position. Like this different examples we can take to understand the difference between distance and displacement. You observe in all these examples, distance value will be always positive. Distance value will be always, it will have positive value only. Displacement values you observe, sometimes it is positive, sometimes it is negative, sometimes it will be 0. So what we can conclude from this all these examples is, distance is always positive. Distance is always positive. Displacement may be positive or negative or 0. Displacement may be positive, may be negative or may be 0. But distance value will be always positive. So once again just recall that distance means what? Actual length of the path travelled by the body is called distance. Shortest path between initial and final positions is called displacement. Distance is a scalar quantity, displacement is a vector quantity. And distance may always positive, displacement may be positive, may be negative or may be 0. These are the differences between them. We will continue the remaining.